Another lineup from the Baofeng family of handheld DMR radios. This is the DM-1801. A little bit different form factor than the other ones I've reviewed on this channel, including those that are kind of a copy of the Redivus. This is kind of an all-new animal, so we're going to check it out today, and I hope you enjoy it.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome to Ham Radio 2.0. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. If this is your first time to join us here on this channel, we do reviews, news, and how-tos of everything that's new in amateur radio. Also, I want to welcome our audio podcast listeners. I upload almost all of my episodes to an audio hosting service called Spreaker, which then transmits it to iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google, and a few others. So those of you listening on audio only, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. A lot of the stuff in this video today is going to be visual, so you can follow along as best you can in the audio conference, but if you have a chance to sit down and watch the video, I suggest that. Thanks a lot for watching. Sure would appreciate a subscribe below if you want to keep up with all the stuff on this channel. So today we're talking about a newish, it's not actually that new, it's been out for a little while, dual band DMR HT from Baofeng called the DM-1801. So this is what it looks like right here. I can get my 1701 that I reviewed a while back, and hopefully you've seen that video by now. And you can see that they are somewhat different. The 1801 here on your right is a bit smaller, and it's also a bit, well, no, it's about the same thickness in this direction. But this one's taller. The 1801 only has a volume knob on the top. It doesn't have a channel knob. You change channels with the buttons on the front, while the 1701 has the channel knob and a color screen. Turn that on real quick, and you can see that the 1801 has a monochrome screen there. So we're going to take a closer look at that here in just a second. It does come with the standard belt clip, desktop charging cradle. Comes in a box that looks like this, which is the exact same box the 1701 comes in. So there's nothing special here that you haven't seen before. So I will save you from from an unboxing video. But I did want to bring this in like that and switch over here. Right there. That's what I'm looking for right there. So we're going to switch over to that. I've got the backlight turned off because the backlight was so bright it washed out the camera, and there's no way to adjust the intensity of the backlight. You can turn it off, you can turn it on, or you can set like a 5-second delay, and that's about it. So there's not much else you can do with the backlight on this radio. But we can go through the menus here real quick. Let's see. Of course, that's the menu button and the exit button. You can go from VFO to DMR, or MR. I got DMR in the brain. So it will go into a VFO mode, and it will let you kind of page through that. That's memory mode right there. It'll go to standard VFO mode and let you page through and change to from, you know, program of either an analog or a DMR channel into the VFO. A and B switches the band there. This goes into the menu, and the menu is very simplistic. It's got the set is the top of the menu, zone, scan, and then goes back to set, and that's basically all there is to it. Make sure we're on a DMR channel here. The icon that's right here, the icon right here has a little D or an A above it. That's D for DMR, and you can see that the menu changes when you go into DMR mode. So contact, message, call logs, set, that kind of thing. It's got more options in DMR because DMR's got more options. If we go back into memory mode, you can see an A right there. So that's an analog channel at 467.7500. And then I can go to menu, and I think I can go to set, radio set, This is where you change the backlight and that kind of thing there. So it's got a few parameters in here, but nothing really special. Again, very simplistic. Okay, so you've got two batteries, two PTT on the side here. This one by default, I haven't even plugged this radio up yet. This one by default changes your transmit power. This one by default shows you how much juice is left in your battery. The side over here, of course, opens up and has the same Baofeng programming cable that the other Baofeng DMR radios have. It's important to note that the Baofeng line of DMR HTs does not use the same programming cable as like your analog dual band Baofeng HTs. Even though they look the same, they still look like the standard 2-prong Kenwood connector. Where did that one go that I had? There we go. They still look like your standard 2-prong Kenwood connector, but the wiring in them is the same. I plug up this analog. This one's made for like the UV82. I plug up this analog cable to a DMR HT, and as soon as you plug this plug in, it transmits. It makes the radio transmit. So the wiring is reversed or backwards or something between the analog and the DMR versions of that radio. So just something important to note. Again, once if you're looking for a programming cable for any of the DM series, the RD5R, the DM-1701, 1702, or 1801, I suggest checking Radiodity or buy2radios.com. They carry those. You probably find them on Amazon too. Just make sure it says it's for one of those models that you're, whatever you're looking for. So if we go over here and we can see, once again, let me zoom out a touch here. Once again, you've got one channel on the top, or one knob on the top for your volume. That's all that does is change the volume. I can turn, let me go ahead and turn the screen on just so you can see it real quick. You turn the beep off, backlight, always on. There we go. So you can see the screen's lit up there. You can't really see it much because it's so bright. And again, there's no way to adjust that. And go here, go there. And then you've got, yeah, there's your connector there. I'm gonna take the battery off real quick. This is where the belt clip would attach. It attaches to the body of the radio, not to the battery. So that's always a good thing with some of these newer radios, that I just want to make sure if I buy a second battery for it, I don't have to change out belt clips. I really like it when they attach to the body themselves instead of the battery of the radio. So this battery is a 2200 milliamp hour battery. You can see right there. Hopefully you can zoom in a bit. I wonder if that's going to focus. That's not going to focus. It's too close. Anyway, that's the lithium-ion battery. And you can see that this radio does not currently have the FCC marking on the back of it. However, if you get a newer model, I picked up this model several months ago, and I'm told that the newer models of this radio do have an FCC stamp. I got this one before they had that approved, I guess. So that is what the radio looks like there. Again, it does have a drop-in charger for the to charge on the desk charger, just like your standard, most of your standard radios do these days. And that's all good there. What I haven't figured out yet is how to go in there and change, if you're in VFO mode, how to go in there and change from analog to DMR. The manual that came with it is not very helpful. You can, I learned a few things by reading that about what you could do. Okay, there we go. No, that's not it. Okay, there's a menu in here that says mode, and if I go into channel, if I go into the mode menu, it allows me to select either the channel name, channel frequency, or channel number. So that's not really mode. That's just how it's displayed on the screen. So that's no good. So as of I may have to do some research on that. If someone has this radio and you know how to go into VFO mode and change it from analog to digital, please send it to me. There's an indicator right here on the screen that shows it's in analog. So in VFO mode. So presumably there's a way to do it. I'm sure you can do it in the software. I was looking for a way to do it from the front panel. Okay, I'm sure you can do it in the software. So speaking of the software, let's go ahead and look over here. And I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to transition over. This software here is the programming software from for the BF-1801. It calls it Bravo Foxtrot instead of Delta Mike. But if you look on the back of the, it's probably just a difference in, yeah, on the back of the radio here it says Delta Mike 1801, and this says Bravo Foxtrot 1801. Probably a difference between USA version and non-USA version. A lot of the times that is the difference. This software was very hard to find. I couldn't find it. I emailed Baofeng and said, I've got this radio. I want to do a YouTube video on it. Can you send me the software? And they did. It took them like a couple of days to reply. But they sent it to me. They're like, yeah, here you go. Not a big deal. I was surprised I couldn't find it on the air, online somewhere just by Googling it. Usually you can do that. And now I'm going to go... I haven't done anything with this yet. I'm just going to try to read from it. Okay. I don't see an option in there for setting your port. I just click on read. Communication error, okay. So I don't know why. I went into the device manager. It showed no errors. So I just clicked scan again and it worked. Maybe it wasn't seated in there correctly. I unplugged it and plugged it back in a couple times. So anyway, there's no menu option. Some of these have, like the Anytone has a menu option. Go in there and set the COM port. There's no option. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for an option to go in here and set the COM port, but there's not one. It should just automatically read it. Apparently it took it a couple of tries, but it did automatically read this one for me. So now I go in here and I say, okay, digital contact. Here's my contact list right here. This software is kind of reminiscent of the Connect System software. Little bit the same. NTX wide, 8205. I'm going to put that there as a digital contact, and then I'm going to go to channel. And I'm going to, channel 1 is digital. Let's see. 434.450. That's fine. 34.450. Boom. Power level high. Color code. Repeater slot 2. There is no way, if you watch my last video about the 1701 importing a code plug, that I have found, and I haven't done extensive research, but I've been through all the menus in this software, in this CPS. There's no way to import a code plug into this software. Totally different software than the 1701. It was actually fairly easy on the 1701. I'll link that video right there. And if you have the 1701, you can see some of the videos I did on that. And go from there. But there's that. General setting, radio ID. Good. Okay, okay. And I'm going to go ahead and write to radio. Communicate. Yeah, see, communication error. So I'm going to power it off and power it back on, which is basically all I did last time. Don't know. Don't know what that's about. Power it off, power it back on. That's what fixed it the last time. I didn't move it. I thought maybe last time, because I kind of moved it around, maybe there was a short in the cable, even though this cable worked perfectly with my 1701. But I didn't even move it around this time. All I did was turn the volume knob off, turn the knob off, and turn it back on the actual radio itself, and then it started reading. Write complete. Okay. Now I'll have to go into memory mode. AB memory. Yeah, there we go. So it comes up to memory mode, and it comes up with, well, let me show you guys this. I'll turn the backlight off so everybody can see it. Set. Always off. Okay. Now let's go over here to the overhead cam. Good. Right there. And I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can get a better shot of it. Right there. Okay, so 434,450 was the frequency I just programmed in. And it's displaying the frequency. You can tell it's in digital mode because it's got the D right there. Okay. And you can tell it's in channel mode because it's got a number right there. If I was to go to VFO mode, the number right there would disappear. So now I'm in VFO mode. It's got an analog, A for analog, and no number right there. So it's not in memory mode. But now, oops, wrong button. Now it's in memory mode. Now I'm going to go in here to the menu and go to set and go to the mode menu. I told you about a minute ago, radio set. Mode. And I'm going to go to channel name. Exit, exit, exit. And now it says NTX, and that's exactly what I named the channel. So it came up with just the frequency, but the problem with doing it that way is that the frequency is going to be the same for your hotspot. You may have 100 different channels programmed for your hotspot, and the frequency is always going to be the same for it. So viewing the frequency on the display of the radio is pointless for a DMR radio because you've got all these different talk groups either on the repeater, which is the same frequency, or on your hotspot, which is the same frequency. So you don't want to do that. Of course, you can do whatever you want to. It's your radio, but I'm just saying that's not a very good idea. So let me see if this works here. So someone's going to come along and comment that you should always plug the radio in when it's powered off and then power it on after you connect it to the USB cable. That is not wrong. Okay, that is not wrong. Okay, and that seems to be how you get this radio to read. Power it off, plug it in the USB cable, and then power it on while it's already attached to the computer. 9 times out of 10, I've reviewed a lot of DMR radios, guys. 9 times out of 10, you don't need to do that. Is it best practice? Yeah. Is it always needed? No. Okay, so with this radio, that's what I figured out here a minute ago. I was like, okay, the reason it won't read is because the radio itself is powered on when I'm plugging in the USB cable to the side of it. So power the radio off, plug in the USB cable, power the radio on, and it will read and write. Something, kind of learned that on the fly. I didn't need to do that with the DM-1701 radio that in the last video I made. So it's required in this one. It's not required in that one. I don't know why. Something in programming probably. I'm not a developer. I don't speak C# or Java or anything like that, so I don't know. Anyway, my 2 cents. Okay, so if we go here, and no, I don't want to go there. KC5HWB testing on TGIF. Boom. Good old TGIF hotspot right there. Probably heard the DMR buzz when I keyed up. And not much you can really do to get away from that. Oh, the autofocus on that thing is freaking out. That's good there. It's unusual that nobody's on TGIF. That or I'm just not connected. Oh, it's listed as private call. Ha! How jacked up is that? Okay. So digital contact I created is a call type private call. Interesting. So let's go back over here. I'm going to take you guys back over here. And I didn't notice this because it's grayed out, but when I go to digital contact on the left, it has me put in a name and an ID, and it says private call right there. So let's find, there's probably another menu somewhere. Ah, there we go. Okay, so those are the 3 contacts that were already listed in there. There's an all call on that one. I'm not going to use that. Delete. That one's a group call, but I don't have access to that through my hotspot. So let's go add group call, and I'm going to kill this. Go in here, TGIF. Oops, gosh, if I could type. Group call, there we go. Okay, now, all right, powering the radio off. Go into the channel and change it also. No, that is the channel. Oh, wait a minute, what about the zone? That is good. Yeah, contact. That's what I want right there. Boom. Okay, I want to make sure that the contact is right because I killed that other contact. Zone. That's good there. Okay, now let's write that. Ah, see? I powered it off, plugged it in, and then powered it on after it was plugged in. Still didn't work. So I'm going to power it off. It's still plugged in. Powered it off. Powered it back on. USB ding. Bonk. And there we go. Who knows? So it worked the first 2 times when I powered it off and plugged in the cable and then powered the radio on, but it didn't work that time. So, oh, joy. Joy of programming. Joy. Write speed's kind of slow, too. I'm only writing 2 channels to it. Write complete, and let's go back over here to that. Now, actually, I want to go over here. Radio cam, yep, that's good there. Ooh, that's even better. And here, TGIF hotspot. KC5H, testing on TGIF. Good. Yes! And I'm not hearing him. Okay, so this is probably one of the ones you have to do. I bet you have to create a receive group list. Okay, David, let's try it again. N0BTC from KC5HWB on the TGIF talk group. I'm not hearing the buzzing in my microphone. I don't know if you guys are hearing it or not.
Yeah, roger that. This is N0BTC. How are you this afternoon?
There we go. I'm doing just fine. Sorry I didn't come back to you the first time. I had to go in. I'm testing out a new radio, and apparently, in order, I saw you come across the dashboard, but I didn't hear any audio on the actual HT itself. So this is one of those you have to add the talk group to a receive group before it'll hear you. I haven't found a promiscuous mode. There might be one. Might be one of the programming.
Oh, roger that. Which radio do you have by chance?
Yeah. This is a Baofeng DM-1801. And I was just looking through here to see if there was like a monitor or promiscuous mode or something in the programming. Depends on what they called it, I guess, as to whether I can find it or not.
Is that radio a dual time slot, or is it only single time slot?
Oh, it's dual time slot. Oh no, it's dual time slot. It'll let you choose time slot 1 or 2 in the programming. it's doing everything it's supposed to be doing as far as that goes. But yeah, it's definitely a more limited menu and more limited screen size than some of the other ones I've used.
Yeah, I just remember when those Baofeng radios were only a single time slot, and you couldn't use them on a repeater.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the first one they did. I think that was a DM-5R. They've come out with 2 or 3 models since then that are all dual time slots. So I think there was too many people that complained about that lack of ability, and they didn't make any more of them. So everything I've used since then has been dual time slot. So definitely been upgraded from that first one they tried. I am not seeing a monitor mode or a promiscuous mode in this menu.
Roger that. Did you say that was an 1801 or a 1701?
This one is an 1801. I've got a 1701 also. And the menus on the 1701 look just like the TYT menus, the UV 380, 390 menus. This one's a little bit different. It's got a smaller screen that's monochrome and less information on it. Form factor is a little bit more sleek looking than the 1701, a little bit smaller. But it doesn't, as far as features goes, it doesn't seem to have as many features as the 1701 did.
Yeah, roger that. I'm on an MD390 right now, the UV390 with the GPS.
Yeah. Yeah, Roger. That one's a good one. I've got one of those sitting on the charger right here on the desk. So if I'm not using my Anytone radio, then I'm probably using the UV390. That's the favorite one of mine that TYT makes right now. So, all right, man. Thanks for coming back to me. I'm just doing some testing and recording a video here. Appreciate you responding, and it sounds like it's a successful test, even though it took a couple of hoops to jump through to get this thing to work correctly.
Roger that. Oh my lord, I didn't recognize the call sign right offhand, but now I do, since he said video. KC5HWB from N0BTC 73 there, sir.
I get that sometimes, which is fine. Well, that's not me keying up. Oh boy, somebody's not making the... Okay, David, 73, yeah. Once again, thanks for coming back to me. Appreciate the QSO, and we'll catch you next time. N0BTC from KC5HWB. I'm going to be clear. So, great. I really like this hotspot. Really cool hotspot. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to the TGIF hotspot video right up there. So, that is what the latest is from Baofeng on their DM-1801. I'm not... If someone has this radio and knows how to enable promiscuous... I always get this this question every time I do a DMR radio review. Does it have monitor mode or promiscuous mode? I can't find it in the software. And the menu is very limited. So as far as I can tell, it does not. Now... Quite frankly, it would surprise me if it wasn't in there somewhere, so I'm probably just missing it. So if someone who has this radio, put a comment in the YouTube video below and let me know how to get into it. And I'll probably do a follow-up. I'm trying to do follow-up videos to DMR radio. To when I do a video about a DMR radio, it usually gets a lot of attraction, and people ask questions. And I try to take those questions and make a second or third video out of it. So that might be what we do next time. I did that for the 1701 when I put the video about how to load a code plug into it. And We might, if I can find a better way to get a code plug into this radio, then I might try to do that again. But promiscuous mode, I'll see. I can't find it right now. So when that question arises, I can't find it. But if you found it, put your comments below, because a lot of you are smarter than I am. So 73 guys, thanks for watching. Once again, click subscribe below and smash the like button if you don't mind. Put your comments below about this specific radio, if you have it, if you use it, what you think about it, and we'll catch you next time.